Raider Nation, what is going on, y'all, man? We're going to wait for the entire nation to pull up, but let me just tell you what, we've got a lot to talk about, and I'm super excited that you guys took the time out of your Tuesday to come and hang out with me, Raider Ray. Look, if you see down and below, if you guys haven't already, man, go over to Instagram and follow me. It's _Raider Ray _. If you guys aren't following me on IG, I would highly recommend it. I post some film stuff, interact with you guys, private message, the whole deal. So look, first and foremost, man, we're going to address the panel. We're looking to have a fantastic show tonight. There is just so much to get into. Surprise cuts, review of the Vikings game, some players to look into. We've got all of it tonight, you guys. So first and foremost, man, we're going to go address the nation. Starting with Boomcat Raiders. Let's get it. Looking forward to dropping in later. I appreciate you, brother. All eyes on G is in the building, everybody. Sean Johnson already asking. As a matter of fact, Sean, I'm going to come back to these questions to pop off the show. I'm going to address the chat. Robert says, I made it, Raider Ray. Shout out to you, brother. I appreciate you for pulling up, man. I'm super excited to have you here. So with these cuts, you would think that they have a plan to sign Sue, I hope. We're going to get into it, Robert. Demarcus is in the building. I appreciate you for pulling up. Ray, my guy, what's good? Our guy T. Billy is about to make this roster. And you're right. Hey, he's in a competition, and we're going to get into that in a little bit as well because there's another young buck making some noise on this Raiders roster that we got to address. And matter of fact, speaking of that young buck, I'm just going to give a little sneak peek. DJ Turner was watching my Instagram story today as I was breaking down film, and also Bam Osalene. So I thought that was pretty cool, man. Shout out to Bam Osalene. Shout out to DJ Turner, two boys that I've been repping this entire offseason. Thank you for showing some love on Instagram. The Silver and Black Report, if you guys haven't yet, go subscribe to his channel. He says, what's up? Richard is in the building. He says, Ray, salute, brother. Salute to you, Richard, man. I appreciate you guys for popping in. B. Al says, salute, Raider Nation. Man, everybody's just talking it up, man. I absolutely love this, man. I love this. Sean says, Raiders, all eyes. Sup, fam? What's going on, all eyes? I appreciate you in the building. Digital Prez in the building. He says, yo, what's good, Digital Prez? I appreciate you. Halo's in the building, y'all. Shout out to my brother Halo. Yee. My brother Raider Ray. Halo is in the place to be. This is the place to be tonight, man. We are going in tonight, bro. You guys aren't going to want to miss the show, man. Everybody's going up. Chronicles of the Black Hole pulled up. Hey, Ray, lots of news today. You are right, OG. There's a lot of news, man. So, look, Carlos pulled up in the building. We got 21 people. If you guys have not, man, go over, smash that like button, and subscribe. It is the best way to let other Raider fans know where you are tonight. So, everybody, go let people know where you're at tonight. We are going to have another fantastic show. So, without further ado, man, let's just jump straight into the business because we got a lot to get into tonight. So, without further ado, you guys, we're just going to talk straight about the cut candidates, and we're going to talk about the trade that went down. Now, look, Andy was on the show last Tuesday, and we were both talking about a specific guy in the safety room that we thought was going to be the guy behind Trayvon Merrick, Jonathan Abrams, Deron Harmon, and that was Tyree Gillespie. Now, look, he had a good showing in the Jacksonville Jaguar game, but to our surprise, just after the Minnesota Viking, among first cuts, Tyree Gillespie gets traded to the Tennessee Titans for a late-round draft pick. And I thought that this was interesting because in the Jacksonville Jaguar game, Tyree got his head in there and created a fumble. But if you watch the film of the Vikings game, he had a big club on his hand with no access to his hand. It was a full cast hand. So I wonder what's going on with his hand injury, if that had anything to do with the move. And look, this regime is just showing that it doesn't have ties to anybody. You've seen the extensions with Derek Carr, Max Crosby, Hunter Renfrow, guys that they weren't really they weren't tied into it all, but they showed that they wanted them to be the core of this roster, so they go out and hand them extensions. However, a guy like Tyree Gillespie, it's just shown that if you weren't chosen by this coaching staff, look, they have no affiliation with you, which means they don't have to keep you. So I thought that move was really, really intriguing. The Tennessee Titans are getting a decent depth piece at the safety, and we're getting a late-round draft pick. Now, that means we have 11 draft picks in next year's draft, and we've talked about it on this channel, you guys. Look, with the Raiders allocating so much money and guaranteed money over the next 3 years in these contracts that they signed this offseason, the Raiders are really going to have to nail these next 3 drafts to really develop the roster. That way, when these contracts go to expire, they have guys that have been in the scheme in the system for up to 3 years, and they're ready to replace those aging veterans when those contracts are up. I think it's something that Dave Ziegler and Champ Kelly, Josh McDaniels, they're going to knock it out of the park. I just have that feeling. And you give them an entire offseason with their scouts to really assess this draft. I thought that they had a really good draft this year on a short leash and limited time to do scouting. I thought that they did a pretty good job. Now, what are they going to do with a year of scouting under their belt? I love that we have 11 draft picks. I love that we're moving forward in the right direction. So that's to sum up the Tyree Gillespie. We are going to talk about it. Van City is in the building. He says, Robert, my brother, Demarcus, everybody, they're making guys earn their spot this year, and I love it. And I couldn't have said it better myself, Van City. They are making people. So getting into the cut candidates, Demarcus Robinson. Now, look, this is something that you could have probably said that I've seen coming a little bit down the road, but for it to be this early on, it says a lot about the wide receivers, maybe some things that we're not seeing, what's going on in practice, who's really stepping out. A guy like DJ Turner just came off of a big game, but I thought Demarcus actually stepped up and really fought for the ball and had a few aggressive catches that I actually liked. He played physical. So it was a little bit surprising for me to see Demarcus Robinson's names pop up for the first cut candidates. I don't think it would have been that surprising a little bit down the road, but that's one name off the board. So you can almost guarantee Matt Collins is going to make it. And now Tyron Johnson, DJ Turner, look, if we're keeping 6 wide receivers, they're in a battle a little bit. So I think my boy T. Billy is going to make it, but I really hope DJ Turner makes it because, look, this guy really flashed when it comes to punt return ability. When it came to special teams, these guys showed out, and he just plays with juice. He plays with swagger, a lot like Tyron Johnson. Now, look, Tyron Johnson, that Vikings game underwhelmed me a little bit. I'm not going to lie. And in this wide receiver room, guys, it's really hard to gauge where they're all at. It seems like week to week, some guy is showing up. I thought Tyron Johnson brought the most energy week 1. The second week, you get a guy like DJ Turner who emerges, and not only does he emerge in the wide receiver room, he emerges when it came to special teams ability, which was really big for the Raiders. And moving forward, outside of Darius Phillips, a guy who's been showing contribution to the special teams, I think DJ Turner is one of those guys we got to keep an eye on moving forward, Raider Nation. So Van City says, at this point now, I'm just waiting to wake up one morning to see the Raiders have picked up defensive tackle Ndamukong Suh, traded for defensive tackle Jeffrey Simmons, and traded for free safety Jesse Bates. Well, you might want to lay down and take a nap because you're going to be waiting a while for that one, brother. Look, I could see the Raiders going out and getting Ndamukong Suh. I went live, I was breaking down the final film of the Vikings game, and look, it's evident that the Raiders need interior help. Now, I was going to wait on this, but I'm just going to jump straight into it. Neil Farrell Jr. and Matthew Butler just aren't ready. And I understand that they're rookies, and there was a lot of expectation on these two guys when they were drafted. They're just not ready, Raider Nation, at least not right now. I mean, they have 2 weeks, so we'll see what they can maybe develop into, but you guys, they're just not ready. And it was evident on film. A guy who really stood out to me was Andrew Billings. This guy has a really good push-pull. He's really aggressive in the run game. Andrew Billings is a guy that's going to make this roster, and I really like his film. As I went back and reassessed this game, man, he really showed out. Him and Kyle Pico really showed out in the Vikings game. Kyle Pico, he just plays with relentless effort, and he does a good job of getting his hands up. He's always fighting on every play. Andrew Billings, man, he was just tenacious. I mean, especially for a big guy, fighting off double teams, the ability to seal off, and especially when it came down to goal line red zone defense, he really showed out, man, was stuffing running lanes and just getting his nose in there, really being a nose tackle that the Raiders desperately need. So moving forward, let's keep an eye on Andrew Billings. He is a guy who really jumped off of the screen. But outside of that, you guys, look, I was pretty underwhelmed. I'm not going to lie. Richard says, could we be trading picks for players maybe? We'll see. We'll see. I think your biggest needs right now, and we'll get to the offensive line here in a minute, but as far as the defensive interior, I think if you go get an Ndamukong Suh, you let Hankins get healthy, you keep an Andrew Billings, you get a Bilal Nichols back, and you incorporate Suh in there, I think that the interior defensive line is a lot better than where it stands right now. And on film, you guys, to be fair to this Raiders defensive line, it was really the second quarter that really made the film look bad. Okay, it was about 8 minutes, right, of the Raiders kind of getting ran down their throat a little bit, and there was a lot of substitution going on. There's a lot of different guys in and out of formation, so It's a cause for concern, but I thought it got a little bit overblown. And you got to remember, these are a lot of depth pieces. So Raider Nation, yeah, the defensive tackle is an area that we do need to address, but I do think it got blown out of context a little bit. Let's see. Digital Press says Turner is impressive for 5'9". He's 5'9", but electric. He really is. He's electric when he gets the ball in his hands, and that's what we need. And it wasn't just on that one catch. You know, if DJ just showed on that one catch, the catch and run ability, that would be one thing. But we've seen it on the punt return. We've seen it on a sideline catch where he's just guys are kind of bouncing off of him, and he's able to wiggle around and create more yak opportunities. And I think that that's something that the Raiders desperately need. And I'm sure that it caught the coaching staff's attention. DJ Turner is one of those guys to pay attention to. Van City says, Ray, don't rate on my parade. Hey, bro, I'm sorry. I'm just going to keep it a buck. Sean Johnson says, and if Hankins and Nichols aren't ready, we are screwed if they aren't up to PUP listen time. So Sue has become more likely a need. Yeah. If they're not ready to go by week 1, then you definitely have to go out and make a move. I know it might sound a little bit desperate of me, but I'm gonna address it where it needs to be addressed. If those two guys aren't ready for week 1, you need to go get Ndamukong Suh, and hopefully Ndamukong Suh's in shape because he's going to get a lot of reps in that game if these guys aren't ready to go. Digital Press says, question is, does this open an opportunity that Abrams could potentially stay if he gets it together this next year, or do we look into a new safety in free agency or the other draft? That is another part of my notes that we're going to be talking about. Look, Jonathan Abrams stepped up, and really, you guys, this was a cohesive unit. And before I get into this, hey, if you guys haven't yet, we got 26, 25 of you in the chat. Go smash the like button, man. It lets other Raider fans know where you guys are at tonight. So getting back into it, Jonathan Abrams, look, these guys worked as a cohesive unit. And what have we been saying on this channel this offseason? We want to see Jonathan Abrams get deployed and get after the quarterback a little bit. And that's exactly what Patrick Graham did this game in the big nickel. He put Abram in the box and he sent him on blitzes, which was phenomenal to see, if I'm being honest with you guys. It was a relief to see a defensive coordinator finally getting Jonathan Abram after the quarterback. It's an aspect of his game that I don't know why other defensive coordinators didn't tap into more. But when I say that they worked as a cohesive unit, when you had Jonathan Abram in on a blitz opportunity, it forced the quarterback to get rid of the ball a little bit early, which is the play that Jayon Brown got his hands on the football, which then floated the ball into the secondary where Duron Harmon had an opportunity to get an interception. Now, that is what it looks like, Raider Nation, when a defense works in a cohesive unit. All right. This is a team game. This is the most team game that there is out there. And everybody, all those men have to work as one unit. And for Jonathan Abram to create the pressure, for Jayon Brown to get his hand on the football, and Duron Harmon have an opportunity to get an interception. Those are the opportunities we're looking for in this defense this year. Okay, if the Raiders can hit more on those opportunities, you're going to be looking at a lot more turnovers, which is exactly what the Raiders need this offseason. Man, I got to get to this chat. You guys are going crazy. Doxson wasted, no Paul, Jeffrey Simmons agent, and they could pull a friend favor. Hey, I don't know if Raiders content creators got that much favor with an agent. We'll see, though. You all got to pump the brakes on that. Look, we might have some connections, or they might have some connections. I don't have that connection, but I don't think their connection's that good. Auntie Six says, everyone guess who's in the me, Auntie Six. What's good, Auntie Six, man? This is my dude. We always chat it up on Instagram. And look, if you guys don't have me on Instagram, man, like I said, _Raider Ray _. Go follow me. I want to see your guys' faces and interact with you guys. So Auntie Six is in the building. GA Patriot says, what's good, Ray? What is going on, GA? Auntie Six says, Turner the burner, kick and punt returner. Ooh. Auntie Six with the bars. I like it, boy. DJ Turner is the man. Demarcus says DJ and T Billy in the screen game will be lethal. And thank you for bringing up the screen game, because that's another aspect in my game notes that I wanted to talk about. Look, these guards, I'm glad that the Raiders are actually running quite a bit of screens this preseason, because these guards, I got to be honest with you, they have a lot of work when it comes to getting into the open space, whether it be John Simpson, Dylan Parham, even Lester Cotton. And look, Lester Cotton is having a phenomenal offseason. I can't express it enough. I really enjoyed what I watched, but he's not perfect, okay? I watched him get beat. Let me go back into my notes, man. I watched him get beat on an inside two-hand shuck. He got a little greedy with his hands. He overextended. and the defensive lineman timed his punch. And that's something that, look, that's all correctable. Everything that Lester Cotton that I've seen negative on tape, all of it's correctable. Getting these guys out in space, you could tell that they just weren't that comfortable. They're really big men. But for what they are, look, there is potential there because they get to their guy, but the problem is they need to really get their hands on their guy. Once they get out in space, they're kind of all like, oh, where do we go? It looked a lot better in the first Hall of Fame game than what it did in week 2. I want to see these guys consistently be able to get their hands on their guy when they get out in space. So that was a little bit of aspect. But yeah, in the screen game, look, they're even breaking down Stidham's film. I'm going to jump right over. I'm getting ahead of myself. I got to chill. DJ Turner, he's going to be involved in the screen game, but I'm going to break down Jarrett Stidham's film. I got to get to these chats because you guys are just blowing it up, man. Howdy, chat. Salute, Webb. Demarcus, facts. Abram looked good in the big nickel. He did look good in the big nickel. Did Graham and Justin Simmons help in his coverage ability, Jonathan Abram, I mean? No. He's got a lot to do when it comes to coverage. Abram is phenomenal for blitzing and makes a great QB spy. Thank you, GA Patriot. This is something we've been saying. This is an aspect of Jonathan Abram's game where I think he could actually make a living in the NFL. Okay, so they do lives with Paul every couple weeks. There's one tonight, Ray. You should check it out. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Okay, so talking about Jarrett Stidham, look, everybody wanted to throw the roses at Jarrett Stidham for having a good Hall of Fame game. And to be quite honest, when I broke down the Vikings film, he left a lot out on the field, okay? This guy is just he goes through one read, one progression, and he holds on to the football for too long. I mean, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I posted some videos today of the film, and look, the famous play of Kenyon Drake open in the end zone, that wasn't the only wide open guy. As Kenyon Drake made his way across the middle of the field, a safety came down to cover up Kenyon Drake, and it left Keelan Cole standing in the middle of the end zone wide open, jumping up and down for the football. And Jared looked right at him and didn't throw the football, and he decided to tuck and run it. There was another crosser over the middle of the field with Tyron Johnson, and he had a wide open window lane, and he looked right at Tyron Johnson and didn't throw the football. He's too conservative. At least this last game, he was too safe with the football, and it was like he was too afraid to put the football. And really, it wasn't tight situations at all. These guys were wide open. These are throws that this is as open as it's going to get in the National Football League. And for him to not take advantage of that opportunity, I'm not completely sold on Stidham. For a guy who knows the playbook very well, I'll give you that. He can manage the game a little bit. He's not aggressive enough with his throws. He's a one-read type of guy. And look, Mullins went in there, and he's more aggressive with the football. I'm not going to say he's better. They're different, right? Stidham is more conservative, more safe with the football. Nick isn't afraid to gun it in there, and it's going to lead to some turnovers here and there. But even on the DJ Turner, man, he hit an open window and hit DJ Turner, and that's what creates big explosive plays in the offense is you cannot be gun shy. When you are a quarterback, you need to be a gunslinger. You need to get in there and let your guys have an opportunity to make plays. And I thought that Mullins gave his guys more of an opportunity. Now, I'm not going to say he's better. Look, I still want to see more from Chase Garbers. I think this kid is pretty protective with the football, but he's not afraid to let it go. I mean, he gave an out route to DJ Turner, which was really nice. He hasn't caused a single turnover. He's shifty with his legs. I mean, I want to see more Chase Garbers with these last 2 preseason games. I don't think that competition is all said but done yet. Not to say that Chase is going to compete for that. I think he's a practice squad guy. But Mullins and Stidham, you got to really ask yourself, what do you want out of the quarterback? Like, say something were to happen to DC, God forbid. Are you going to want a guy like Nick Mullins, who's won games in the National Football League, might be a little bit too aggressive with the football at times, but is at least going to give his wide receivers the opportunity to fit the ball in some tight windows and give your guys a shot, right? And that's what he did with DJ Turner. He did it with Demarcus Robinson, who's now been released. Richard says, I was just about to mention that, Ray. I agree, Ray. Stidham will hold the ball and look for chances to run rather than risk a throw. And I don't understand why. It's not like running was ever a huge part of his game. It's like he got that one rushing touchdown and got all this hype, and now he's trying to do too much with his legs. And look, in a regular season, when you're going up against a 53-man roster, these elite teams in the National Football League, Stidham is going to struggle. You're not just going to make one read and tuck the ball and run. You're going to get destroyed, and we're not going to win at any football games. So it gives the Raiders roster, it gives the coaching staff a real opportunity to look at the quarterback situation and say, what are we going to do? Who are we going to move forward with? And I don't think that competition's done. I think it's still wide open, especially with the performance. Look, when you go back and break down the film, you would kind of see what I'm saying. Richard says that I like Mullen better. And if I'm being honest right now, I do too. Stidham and Mullins both have good games so far. Still believe it's Stidham's spot to lose. And I could see that all eyes on G. I get it. We traded for him. He's familiar with the staff. Josh McDaniels thinks that he's developed, which I'm sure he's gotten better. It's just he's so conservative. He's almost too protective of the football. And I'm wondering, look, if something were to happen, does he have the nuts to go out there and thread the needle a little bit, to get aggressive with his arm and trust it? Because right now it doesn't look like he trusts his arm, and it doesn't look like he trusts the guys that he's playing with. Like, you give these guys an opportunity. These guys are fighting for a roster spot too. And it kind of just felt like Stidham is trying to save his job, not cause turnovers, instead of giving his guys an opportunity. A lot of these guys are fighting for roster spots. Tyron Johnson was open. DJ Turner was open on multiple routes. Keelan Cole could have had a touchdown in the red zone. All these guys are trying to make a way for themselves. And when you have a quarterback who's being extremely conservative for a whole half of football, where these guys are fighting and vying for a spot, I don't like it. I don't like it. Mullen will take chances. That's right, OG. He will. Stidham can't be the man off the bench with Adams and Renfro on the field and pull that. No, he's got to get more aggressive. And to his credit, look, I'd imagine he's going to get more aggressive if you have a receiver, obviously, like Hunter Renfro, Devontae Adams, Darren Waller. You go down the list, right? We don't have to do all that. But look, when you're in a preseason game and you have nothing to lose, if you're that confident, you're getting the starting reps for the whole first half, you have to give your guys an opportunity. I mean, you got to think, these guys got to eat too. Tyron is trying to prove himself. A guy like DJ Turner is trying to prove himself, and Nick Mullins was able to give these guys an opportunity. He even threw a go ball out to Tyron Johnson, and there was good coverage on the play and ended up getting batted down. But look, he gave the guys an opportunity, and you have to respect that. Richard says, Garber has skills from what I've seen. I've honestly been thoroughly impressed with Garber's. I really have. He looks poised in the pocket. He's not stupid with the football. He's not forcing the ball in tight windows and creating turnovers. He's one of the guys that I feel like isn't getting talked about enough, especially in that quarterback room. And look at who he's playing with. I mean, he's playing with the guys late in the fourth quarter who aren't probably going to make the team. I want to see him get more reps with guys like, Keelan Cole and DJ Turner and Mac Hollins. I want to see him do that because I think you give him and put him in there with the tackles, right? Jermaine Illuminor and Thayer Mumford. And we'll get into all of them here in a second, but give Chase Garbers an opportunity with these next 2 weeks, man. At least let this kid show you what he's got. I think him and Bamo Selene, there's just a few guys on this depth chart that I think could give you a real chance. So with there only being 2 preseason games left, I'm really intrigued to see where these guys are. Ruben Ortega, my very first subscriber, is in the building. Garber's rocking the 15. Shout out Jeff Hosseller. I love it. Silver and Black Report says, hey, what's going on, brother? Van City says, okay, in all seriousness, you know football way better than I do, Ray. What is Ziegler doing? We have like $24 million. There are visible holes on the team that money could fix. Why is he just sitting? If you're talking about the situation like a defensive tackle, Van, I'm not even going to come to the defense of Dave Ziegler. I'm going to say this. With 2 weeks left to go, there's a lot to be done, okay? There's a lot of roster cuts. There's a lot of moves. There's a lot of guys that are going to potentially get put on the trade market. And going into week 1, a guy like Ndamukong Suh is probably not going to want to come into training camp. He's probably going to want to sign and start playing. He's 35, 36 years old. He's just ready to plug and play. So look for that move to get made a lot. If we are going to go out and sign Ndamukong Suh, it's going to be more towards week 1. After you've kind of addressed and shored up, maybe you go get a depth defensive back. Maybe you, I don't know, go get a veteran tackle, even though I don't think that they're going to. I'm going to play the patient game. Look, I've seen in this entire offseason, Van, that, look, if Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels want a guy, they'll go get him. And I trust him with that, okay? Does that necessarily mean that I think they're being a little bit hesitant right now? I mean, I think that they're seeing what they got. They're going to give Matthew Butler a chance. They're going to give Neil Farrell Jr. a chance. But to be honest, after watching the film tonight, they're not ready, guys. They're not ready. They're not getting enough push. They look lost out there a little bit. The young guys just they're not cutting it. Andrew Billings looks probably the best. Kyle Pico looks up there too, but you can't go into week 1 with that. You just can't. We're going to get destroyed if that's the case. Jonathan Hankins, are you going to rely on him after he's coming off of surgery? Is he going to be ready to play a full 4 quarters come week 1 in just 2 weeks? You haven't even got him back at practice. He's not in a ramp-up period. Who knows what his conditioning is like? And Bilal Nichols is the same situation. I mean, he hasn't been on that knee for how long? Almost a month now. There's a lot of concerns. You got to go out and address it. I wouldn't be surprised if they go get a guy, maybe like an Ndamukong Suh, and then maybe go grab somebody who gets released. It's a position you're going to have to address. I agree, Van. Look, I'm not going to panic, but I'm going to say, hey, there's concerns now. There's concerns. Silver and Black Report. Salute, brother. Sorry, my head is pounding right now. Oh, you're good, brother. Hammer House is in the building, brother. I appreciate you for pulling up, man. If you guys haven't yet, go over to Hammer House and subscribe to his channel. Great content creator. I'm sure all you guys are subscribed, but if you're not, go over to his channel and subscribe to him. I appreciate you for pulling up. Hammer House says, this is a legit battle for the backup spot. Each have done good one week and bad the other week. And I agree. I think it's wide open. And like we were saying earlier, you got to really ask yourself, who are you going to keep? What type of style of quarterback are you? Want a guy that's going to risk it? If I'm being honest, Nick Mullins is going to create more turnovers, but at the same time, he's going to give your guys a chance. It kind of reminds me of the Matt McGloin situation, and I know that might be I think it's a decent comparison because that's what he kind of reminds me of. Just stands in the pocket, not afraid to let it go, might create turnovers, but he's also going to give your guy a chance to go out and compete for the football. Right now, Nick Mullins has my favor. Stidham's controlled the game better, but he's been too safe. Salute Nation. Salute Ray. Hammer says salute Ray. All eyes on G says 100. Hammer's here. Thought bots are incoming. Hey, all my moderators, if the thought bots are in the house, get them out. Let's see here. Oh, Hammer says, still shocked by the Gillespie trade. I am too, brother. I am too. And look, me and Andy talked about it last week. We thought that was going to be our guy, right? That we thought that behind Abram, behind Merrick, behind Deron Harmon, that Tyree Gillespie was going to be the guy to emerge. And he wasn't. I mean, clearly the coaching staff thought differently. Like I said, Hammer, if you go back and watch the film, he had a huge club on his hand this week. I wonder if that had something to do with it. Maybe his hand is a lot more serious than what we know. But we'll see, man. We'll see. Raphael says, Raider Ray, what's good? What's going on, Raphael? I hope you're doing good, brother. Like, why would we trade Gillespie for a conditional pick? Something has to be brewing behind closed doors. Hey, look, Van City, I hope you're right about the Jesse Bates. If they're willing to go out and get Jesse Bates, I would love that. I just don't see it. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I can come live on here and say, boy, Van City nailed it. What a prediction by going out and getting Jesse Bates. He's actually from my hometown, so I watched him play football right here in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So it's pretty lit. So yeah, I would love to see Jesse Bates in the silver and black. And look, there's 36 of you guys, man. If you guys haven't, man, go and smash that like button. And any of you guys who are new to the channel here tonight, man, subscribe to the channel. Show some support, man. We're on the road to 1,000. I really want to have 1,000 by September 11th. I think we need like 296 before the show. And look, we're going to have Raid the Tape on later this week. Hopefully, Hammer, if you're still in the building, maybe we can work something out where you can come onto the show and we can just talk some Raider football. But, man, we're on the road to give Raider Nation the best content possible. And this is the channel, man, where we can just sit down and have genuine conversation about the Raiders. None of the other nonsense, no other distractions, but let's just talk Raiders football, man, because we're in for an electrifying season, man. And if you guys haven't, _, Raider Ray, _. That is me on IG. So if you guys haven't, go over there. Oh, Aguilar has been released. Maybe this is why Demarcus Robinson was let go. Is this true? Can anybody please confirm this for me? Please. If Aguilar has really been released, please let me know, because this could be huge. I think I missed some of you guys, man. Yeah, I did. Man, I missed a whole bunch of chats. All right. Let me get back up here. Hammer says someone's asking value is high. They're waiting for it to drop. What's good? Halo was watching Silver and Black show. Sorry, I'm late. It's okay, Tito. I seen a lot of people were tuning into that too. They're waiting for other teams to have to cut players. They can't trade. It's actually smart. And we got to play the patient game right now, you guys. Right now, it's key to be patient because there's going to be some guys that hit the open market. Look, there's 40 of you guys. Go smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. This is a waiting game right now, which I'm content with. And that's what we've preached on this channel, man. It is patience has proved its worth with this with this football team this year. So we got to stay patient. Look at the Devontae Adams situation. Look at the contract extensions. I mean, just look at what the Raiders have been able to do this offseason by exercising patience. Raider Nation, we are 2 weeks, 3 weeks away from kickoff. We're almost there. Stay patient. This front office knows what they're doing, and I have full trust in them. We're not going into week 1 with the situation. We're going to make some moves. Something's brewing. Salute OG. Vital, sup? Exactly, Hammer. Let's see here. Dick is in the building. He says, what's up? What's going on, my friend? I agree, Hammer. Don't jump the gun. Van City says, are you all concerned about this season, Ray, with the condition this team is in at the exact moment? No, I'm not. I'm okay, Van. I'm not going to panic. Now is not the time to hit the panic button. We're 3 weeks out from this thing getting ready to go, man, and we have a special football team. And we've done a really good job of keeping this thing under wraps. So especially on the offensive side of the football, you got 2 premier edge rushers. You do have some talent at the defensive tackle position that need to get healthy. We're okay. We have a defensive back returning. Look, we're okay. We're in an okay position. Now, if this defense can't get healthy, there's a cause for some concern there, but I'm not going to panic yet. We still have some time, and there's a lot of time for things to shake out. Bilal should be back week 1. He's going to have a solid year. And if he can stay healthy and that knee can recover, I agree, Hammer. He's going to have he's a sneaky good pass rusher. He's an overall good guy, especially when it comes to fighting off double teams. Bilal is kind of one of those guys that the Raiders need right now in the interior of this defensive line. And his film is pretty impressive, actually. So this is a guy who can average 6 sacks a year, which is something that would really bode well for the Raiders' defensive line. You're right. We really do need him. They said Aguilar was getting a release. Thoughts, Raider Ray, if Raiders should grab him. Okay, I missed the chat. If it's legit, everybody comment down below again. Is Nelson Aguilar really released? Because, man, we made a video a while back about Nelson Aguilar returning to the Raiders, and a lot of people unsubscribed to my channel because they thought I was reaching. Look, that would be incredible if we can go get Nelson Aguilar. Talk about a proficient offense. Ray and the rest of the nation, relax. And that is what I've been preaching, brother. Relax. Hammer House, back tomorrow, Q&A and fantasy rankings. Attaboy. Hey, everybody go over to and subscribe to Hammer House, man. Thank you for pulling up, brother. I appreciate you showing some love. Anthony says Gillespie sucks. Hey, look, I thought he's okay as a depth piece. I'm not going to say he sucks. Let's see here. Right now, this would be your wide receiver room 53-man roster. Devontae Adams, Mac Hollins, Keelan Cole, Tyron Johnson, Hunter Renfrow, and DJ Turner. And that's a pretty solid lineup if you ask me. You got a pretty diversified skill set in that wide receiver room. You could get creative and do quite a bit of different things. You can get big when it comes to Mac Hollins and Devontae and Foster, and you can go really run heavy. I mean, you can dice it up with speed with Tyron Johnson, DJ Turner. I mean, you can get really creative. You got route runners like a Keelan Cole, Hunter Renfrow, Devontae. I mean, you could do a lot of really fun things with this roster. Cut Amik next, and Amik Robinson is someone who really disappointed me this last week. And look, we talked about him being a cut candidate as well last week. He's someone who's kind of buried on this depth chart. He was getting bit on double moves a lot this game against the Vikings. He just looks like he thinks too much out there. I don't know what it is, man, but it just looks like he's processing way too much between the ears when I watch his film. It's not fluid. He's not trusting his gut. He's just thinking a lot. And there's a few of those players out there doing that. Ruben says, don't forget to like the live chat, Raider Nation. Attaboy, everybody. 37 of you guys, man. Go smash that like button. Hammer, I'm always relaxing, bro. Yeah, all them weights you be lifting, boy. You got to relax. You're going to pull something. Not really a 38-year man that has a wife and kids slaps my worker's butt and said I see a smile at me. Oh, auntie, don't be getting caught up in all this sexual stuff, boy. Don't be doing it. Hammer says, got you, bro. We'll try to schedule something. Yeah, and I know you're busy, bro. So anytime that you're free and you want to just talk Raider football, bro, I'm always here. And you got me on Instagram, so We can work something out if you want to. I'm all for it, bro. I'd love to sit down and just talk with you. We can't afford Bates. Same with Roquan. Both will want to be paid top 3 to 5 at their position. Facts. Facts, 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 which is why I don't think it's going to happen. Would I like it to happen? Of course I'd like it to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Why get a safety when we need a defensive tackle? Facts. We do need a defensive tackle. Ndamukong Suh should probably be the guy. OG says hit the like button or I will tell Mark you about your extended warranty. You don't want him calling you talking about insurance, y'all. You don't want that. Halo lies, not at the gym. 1 second, bro. No one said he was getting released. Jack Kenna is in the building, man. Ray, great to see you on, my brother. It's great to see you, Jack. I appreciate you for pulling up, my friend. Absolutely. Hit those likes and subs. Support my brother. Aguilar not released. Man, y'all need to be careful, man. You guys were getting my hopes up. I kind of knew that was too good to be true. Ray, just hopping on. What do you feel about the Tyree Gillespie trade? Hey, it's an organization thinking that they're going to make the best move, and I'm okay with it. It is what it is, bro. That's where I'm at right now. Halo says I'm alive and I'm doing great. He's being reported to be released, bro. Richard, man, this is awesome. This is awesome. I hope so. And I hope that the Raiders pony up some money and go get him. Aguilar has been released, OG says. Wow. Hey, I say we go grab him, Raider Nation. I say we go grab him. Guys, a trade is coming or we're signing a couple people. And look, I want to kind of talk about this whole Brandon Parker situation, why haven't we put him on IR yet? Look, I was doing some digging and some research, and it's better for the Raiders organization to not put him on IR because that means you fully owe him everything that you've given him. You have to pay for all of his medical expenses, and then it carries money over into the following year. If you work a injury settlement out with Brandon Parker, you agree to terms on, hey, we're going to cover your surgery and we're going to give you some of your guaranteed money. That is the best situation for the Raiders moving forward because it doesn't lock them into anything in dead cap in the future for having to put him on IR because he has 1 year left on his deal. So it would take that remaining money and put it over into the following year, which is something that I don't think the Raiders want to do. So whether they're getting a second opinion or not, I think right now what's happening, you guys, I think the Raiders and Brandon Parker's agent are probably working on a settlement to come to an agreement on, hey, look, how can we work this out so Brandon isn't getting left in the dust and the Raiders can move on and free up a roster spot. So they're going to outright cut him, I believe, on one of these roster cuts once they come to an injury settlement. That's what I believe is going on. DC is literally running to Dave's office right now. I really, really hope so, man. I really hope so. Ray, what's your Instagram? I'll pop it up right here, bro. _, Raider Ray _. That's how you can find me on IG, you guys. I'll leave it up there so you guys can go search for it. Auntie Six is feeling the pain of losing the best pitcher in Dodgers. Absolutely, 100%. Get Aguilar. And how you guys spell Aguilar is bananas. Y'all need to just do a quick search on how to spell his name because you guys are wild. Audrey, I haven't seen you here. If you haven't subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe and we can see you more often. I appreciate you pulling up and spending some time with us. Do you think that the Raiders are ready to give up on Cleve Farrell? Cleve Farrell has buried himself. And look, with the releasing of Jerry Green, I'm surprised, man. I'm kind of surprised that Gary Green was released. Of the edge rushers, I didn't think he was the worst. I didn't think he was the best, but it gives an opportunity for a guy like Cleve Farrell who's gotten buried on this depth chart, hasn't practiced. And I hope the best for Cleve, man. We invested a lot into Cleve Farrell. He's getting paid $10 million this year. I just think that ship has sailed. I really do. I think Cleveland Farrell's ship has sailed. I think he's just a guy who needs a fresh start. I think Cleveland Farrell, a few of these guys, Cleve Farrell could really benefit from a fresh start with the new organization. I think a guy like maybe like a Patriots organization, just someone who's going to put him in a right position. Not to say that the Raiders haven't. I just think that Cleve needs a fresh start. And I hope the best for him. I really do, man. I hope the best for Cleve. But look, with the releasing of Gary Green, he has a real opportunity if he can get healthy and get back to contribute. I think he would be a good depth piece. I really do. He plays with a good effort and good motor. It's just the production hasn't been there. I'm so proud of Proud of Ray. Was on with my boy OG on Dos Patejos. Love seeing my boy grow. Hey, I appreciate that, Jack, man. It's all about growing. Ray, what's your fans only page? I ain't got one of them, boy. I don't know if you want to see that. I don't know if you want to see that, OG. So, man, getting to the defense, man. Things that I seen. I thought Jayon Brown played pretty well. Koontz continues to show that he's the third rusher. I think he shows elite bend abilities. I really do. He does a really good job of getting into his tool bag and attacking with multiple pass rush moves. Malcolm Koontz is a guy who's having a phenomenal preseason, and he's getting work quarters 1 through 4, which is actually pretty remarkable. And he's been the guy. He's getting double teamed a lot late in games. Which says a lot. Teams respect him, and Malcolm Koontz has grown this offseason, and I think the coaching staff just want to see more reps. With Chandler Jones and Max Crosby going to get majority of the workload, they want to get Malcolm Koontz in shape and ready to rush the passer when they call his number, and I love seeing it because he's been really productive this preseason, you guys. Malcolm Koontz is one of those sleeper guys, 7 to 8 sacks. That's where I see him. Okay, 5 to 8 sacks. I'll say that. He's going to have an improvement based upon his rookie year. Malcolm Koontz is a sneaky good guy, and hopefully Cleve Farrell, maybe a guy like Zach Van Valkenburg can get some reps in these next 2 preseason games going against better competition, because when it comes to run defense, Zach Van Valkenburg, I thought showed them things. He has to develop when it comes to rushing the passer, but there's an opportunity maybe for a guy like Bowers to get in there and compete. He's had a pretty good preseason as well, so. But look, there's some guys on the open market that were just released today. A guy like Jordan Jenkins, he's 28 years old and he has 25 career sacks. Raiders Scout put out a thing on Instagram, and I private messaged him because I agreed. As soon as I seen that release by Houston, this is a guy that maybe the Raiders should potentially go out and get to create some depth when it comes to getting after the passer. Jordan Jenkins, 25 career sacks. He's 28 years old, so he still has plenty of football left in him, you guys. It's maybe something that you have to take an eye on and look. Richard says, I follow Ray and Hammer and Andy, Graff, and Wasted. Hey, that's a good little setup you got there, man. I can't complain. I appreciate you for throwing me into the mix of those guys. They've been doing it a while. So, look, I see this comment by G.A. Patriot. He says, so, Ray, are you thinking the Clee and Nelly trade? But look, if it's what they've been saying, you guys, if it's what they've been saying that Nelson Aguilar has been released, you don't have to trade Cleveland Farrell right now. You can just go out and get Nelson Aguilar and pay him some money, maybe a 1-year, $3.5 million deal, and I think he would take it. Why not? That is awesome. If Nelson Aguilar is really released and you guys just aren't pulling my leg here, I'm fired up about that, because I think with his chemistry with Josh McDaniels, his history with DC, look, Nelly could come in here 2 weeks before the season and he knows this entire playbook already. Yeah, is he going to maybe have some rust and have to relearn some terminology a little bit because some things have changed? For sure, but he knows the system. Josh McDaniels has a really good relationship with him. Derek Carr was obviously had a lot of trust in Nelson, gave Nelson Aguilar the opportunity to go out there and earn a lot of money. This guy had 898 yards, 892 yards with the Raiders, like 8 touchdowns, and had the potential, like if he would have caught everything, that guy would have had 1,000-yard season with the Raiders. And I say you go out there and get him. You add him to Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow, Darren Waller, Nelson Aguilar, DJ Turner, Tyron Johnson. I mean, dude, why not go out and get Nelson Aguilar? I love it. Man, you guys are blowing up the chat, man. If you guys haven't yet, hit the like button, man. Everybody, all 36 of you guys should have smashed the like button by now. And I appreciate your guys' love and support, man. Ray, so happy to see you and Farrell working together. Yeah, I hit up Farrell tonight. He's a little bit busy. He's got some things going on, but we're going to have him on later in the week as well, maybe even next week. Raid the Tape is going to be on the show, you guys. So all 36 of you later this week, I'm going to have my boy. I'm really excited to sit down and talk to him. This is a guy who I really respect, and I just want to pick his brain a little bit. I want to talk Raiders with Raid the Tape. So I'm going to have Raid the Tape on the show and just give you guys some really good content, really good conversations. Like I said, I like to sit guys down and just see what's going on in their brain, how they view the roster, how they assess things. So really, I like to bring your guys' favorite content creators onto this show and kind of pick their brain a little bit of how they view this roster. And it gives you a little bit more of an insight to how these guys think. And we're all different. We all have different takes. We might see some things similar, but we're all different. And I think all that does is make Raider Nation a lot more intelligent, a lot stronger. And I always call it the Raiders paradigm, man. We can look at one team and come away with different assessments. And I think that that's huge and important. I believe I added you, Rich, and I added you, Ray. Absolutely. Thank you, brother. I'll follow you back. Ray and Pharaoh do shows sometimes together. Yeah. We don't do it all the time. He's really busy. I'm busy, but we're gonna make it work, you guys. We're gonna get on there. Richard says, Ray, I've never pulled your leg. That's why I trust you, brother. You are my fact checker. Hey, Richard, do you have a wrench? Are you a moderator? Because if you're not a moderator, bro, I am going to make you a moderator. I think you are. I don't know. If you're not, I'm going to make you one. Hello, Jack. Ray's my brother. Don't have to thank me, my man. I can't wait to meet Ray in person one day. You ever want to come to Vancouver, Canada, Ray? You've got a free tour guide, and we'll hit Canucks game. Oh, dude, Canucks game. I absolutely love it, bro. I would love to meet you. I'm going to try to make the Tennessee game, but I can't promise you anything, man. I'm so busy. My wife is pregnant as well with our baby boy. So I'm going to try to work it out, man. I'm going to. I want to meet you guys. I really do. I want to hang out with you guys. We've created a family over here, and I appreciate it. If Mo Moton said he was released, it's a fact. Oh, man, I'm so excited. He's going to be a Raider, y'all. Look, Nelson Aguilar is going to be a Raider. I'm just going to say it, bro. I'm going to be the first one to say, hey, look, Nelson Aguilar is going to be a Raider. Now, I'm hoping, and I'm reaching a little bit. That's what I want to happen. So we'll see. Maybe Chase Garbers, maybe he's going to have to get on the practice squad. He might have to give up that number 15, throw Nelson Aguilar back in that number 15, and let's get it going. Because you know how my boy DC likes the number 15. You know what I'm trying to say? Ray and Pharaoh is a great match. I appreciate that, man. I think we are too. I think we have some good conversation. Chris says we need a right tackle and a defensive tackle, not a wide receiver. We are deep at wide receiver. And while I agree with you, I don't think Nelson Aguilar is going to cost that much money. When you have $28 million, go throw him 3.5. Go get into Ndamukong Suh. You can go get Nelson Aguilar, Chris, and still address defensive tackle. And let me tell you this. We're not in desperate need of a right tackle. Jermaine Illuminor is the outside of Colton Miller. Jermaine Illuminor is the best offensive lineman the Raiders have, hands down. Mark it, book it, take a screenshot of it, screen record me, do whatever you got to do. Jermaine Illuminor is the right tackle heading into week 1. And look, it puts Alex Leatherwood into a weird situation because, to be honest, Alex Leatherwood is not a better tackle than Jermaine Illuminor. Not by a long stretch. And look, Jermaine Illuminor just played left tackle, a position that he's not used to playing this preseason or in training camp. And he still held his own. He went up against a guy who averages 8 sacks a season against the Minnesota Vikings and held his own. I think he lost maybe 2 reps the entire time he was out there on the left side. He did look a little awkward pulling on the left side. Like I said, a technique and everything gets mirrored and reversed. He was going to struggle a little bit, but on the right side, even at the right guard position, Jermaine Illuminor is the best offensive lineman we have on the right side of this football team. Now, when he does beat out Alex Leatherwood for that right tackle spot, because mark my words, he will, are you going to kick Alex Leatherwood inside? And if you do, you're going against the highest graded right guard in the entire preseason of the National Football League in Lester Cotton, a guy who's only let up 2 hurries. I don't see Alex Leatherwood beating out Lester Cotton. So then what do? Do you have to kick Alex Leatherwood over to left guard where he goes and competes against John Simpson? What's that battle like? And people need to remember, Alex Leatherwood played left tackle at Alabama. He's had experience on the inside, so I'm sure he could learn the left guard position. Coach Priscillo does a remarkable job of getting these guys able up to speed to play all positions. Now, whether they play at a high level, that's another thing, but he at least gets them to the point where they know what they're doing. Alex Leatherwood is going to get lost in the sauce a little bit, and because I don't know if he beats out John Simpson. I don't think he beats out Lester Cotton. I don't think he's better than Jermaine Illuminor. I'll say it. So I'm curious. I'm going to be watching Alex Leatherwood. There's something going on in his head. He has all the physical traits. He's another one of those guys that it looks like he thinks too much. I don't know if he loves football. I can't say. I've never sat down and talked to the kid. I don't know what the kid's off the field life is like. I don't know if Alex Leatherwood loves football. Has a passion and a fire to get better and better and to be among the elite in the NFL and to go down as one of the best to do it. I don't know if he has that drive. I would be curious. He's a very laid-back guy, and I would love to see somebody be able to pick his brain and maybe get him to open up, maybe get him on like a podcast where they can kind of sit down and see what makes this guy tick. Because if I'm being honest, the last regime and this regime, I don't think that they found what makes Alex Leatherwood tick. Like what puts his light on? You know what I mean? Like what is it going to take to get this guy fired up to play right tackle? I'm just not seeing it right now. Richard said, Jack, you were right. Should have seen Andy and Ray. That was fire. And we'll work on it again, man. Well, I'm going to work on getting Andy. I don't think Andy could come on tonight. I think he was a little bit busy. Raid is another great match. I'm excited. I'm really excited. Van, is Ray your real brother? Of course he's my real brother. Of course he is, bro. No, he's not. Think about it. Every started weapon Derek Carl have chemistry with Adams, Renfro, Aguilar, Waller, Jacob, complete chemistry knowing the system. Yes, absolutely. It is absolutely awesome. Glad I found the stream way better than streamers on Twitch Sports. Just saying. Hey, well, I appreciate that, Audrey. I hope to see you around more often, man. We're going to be talking Raiders all the time. Okay. Richard says, no, I don't have a wrench. Well, you're going to be a moderator, Richard. I'm going to make you a moderator on this channel, so look forward to that. Fade to Black says, congrats to you and your wife, Ray. I appreciate you, brother. Aguilar puts a cherry on top of this offense. I agree 100%. Remember when I said Pickens was going to be a monster? He's proven my point. Absolutely. Absolutely. I do remember that. Ray, am I going to see you on Dos Pendejos, the OG channel again? Yeah, you will. I've just been busy. So when I can go live on my channel, I've been doing it. Thank you, OG. Thank you. Aguilar. Thank you. Thank you. Great show, Ray. I like how fundamentals and techniques are being taught. I appreciate that. I like to bring that aspect to this game, man. Aguilar brings us speed that we wanted this offseason and is one of DC's favorite targets. Facts, 100%. I would put Leatherwood at left guard, in my opinion. Yep. That really, you guys, he can't beat out Lester Cotton, I don't think. I don't think he's going to beat out Jermaine Illuminor. I just don't see it. I really don't. Put him at left guard, or maybe he's going to have to be the backup left tackle and right tackle. He might have to be the swing guy. If there's an injury at guard, maybe you're going to have to put Alex Leatherwood. He might have to be that utility weapon for the Raiders offense moving forward. That's just where it's at. That's where we're at right now. Leatherwood still needs to develop his handwork. If he loses the tackle job, he doesn't automatically get to play guard. No, he's got to compete and earn it. And that's what this coaching staff is doing by putting Alex Leatherwood into the fourth quarter. They're showing, hey, dude, you got to go out there and earn it. We've said it before, whether you're a first-round draft pick, first-class free agent that got a lot of guaranteed money, low-end draft pick, undrafted free agent, it does not matter. On this roster, you need to compete. You need to show up to work, put it into practice, and translate it over into game film. Alex Leatherwood just is not doing that, and I think that this coaching staff is trying to fire him up. Get a first-round draft pick playing in the fourth quarter. You're trying to see what does this guy love football? That's what I feel like this coaching staff is raising that question with Alex. Like, hey, dude, do you love this game? Do you love being a Raider? Do you want to be a starter in the National Football League? If that's a yes, you need to show it on film. That's where we're at. Tito says, tune in tomorrow for the Wild West show on Captain Jack tomorrow. I'll have to do that. I wish we kept Quentin Jefferson. Facts. I was just looking him up the other day. I was hoping he was a free agent or maybe going to be potentially released. So I hope he's potentially released. I'd love to pick Quentin Jefferson back up. That boy played with a lot of effort. This regime didn't draft Leatherwood. They have no emotional attachment or feeling compelled to start him. No, but what they did was they gave him every opportunity to go out there and compete. They did their part. I said this when Andy was on. The Raiders organization did their part with Alex Leatherwood. They realized, look, this organization thought highly of you. They're giving you the opportunity to go out there and be a right tackle. So Josh McDaniels, Coach Priscilla said, okay, Alex, look, we're going to give you this opportunity to go out there and hold down the job. You were drafted to come in here and do it at a high level, and you have traits that we feel like we can coach up. Go out there and show us that you can do it. So the Raiders, Josh McDaniels, Dave Ziegler, Coach Priscilla, they all did their part in this deal. Alex Leatherwood has not held up his own part. And like I said, I think it has to do more with him, like who he is as a person, than anything. The guy has all the athletic measurables, all the traits. Just sometimes you see these guys just not able to put it together. Cheeseburger fires up Leatherwood. Oh, I hope you're wrong, man. I really hope you're wrong. Noise like Jermaine Illuminor, but he's average at best. Leatherwood sucks. What happens if the barely average right tackle gets hurt? Offense can't do anything, regardless of weapons, if the O-line isn't there. And I like your point. Look, Jermaine Illuminor had an interview, and I don't know if you guys got to see it. Jermaine Illuminor did a lot of work this offseason with Max Crosby. He said he was tired of being the guy, the fat guy on the roster, and the guy that kind of just got lost in the mix of guys. He took this offseason to really get better. And Jermaine Illuminor, Chris, I would encourage you, if you don't watch film, go watch his film and you'd be extremely impressed. This guy plays better than an average right tackle. I think he could get you through the 17 week, and I think he's going to be one of those mid-range tackles. I really do. When we say average is a good thing for the Raiders right now at right tackle. I will take an average Jermaine Illuminor if that's the category you want to put him in. When I watch his film, he's an above average tackle, an above average starting tackle. He's not a good to great to elite tier. He can get the job done. He really can at right tackle. So I would encourage you to go watch the film, and you can get through this season. If he stayed healthy all year, I love where we're at right tackle because it's a lot better than what we've seen out of Alex Leatherwood. Hey, Audrey, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. We'd love to have you as a regular. Absolutely, GA Patriot. I love that you did that, man. Raid made me his first mod. He lives in the 916. I'd love coming on with you guys. We'll tune in later this week, all right? We're going to have Raid the Tape on here. 31 of you guys. Go smash the like button, man. I'm going to throw this up there. Smash that like button and subscribe. Here's my Instagram, _, Raider Ray, _. All right, let's see here. Ray, if Nelly is released, which he is not. See, what's going on here? Whatever. I'm just going to say he's not released. Ray, if Nelly is released, which he is not, this puts T. Billy and DJ right back on the roster bubble. Who would you release? This one's close, bro. This one's close. I have to see more in a week or two. I really do. Right now, I think it's an even scratch. If I'm being honest, DJ Turner has shown more than Tyron Johnson. And he showed the ability for yak opportunities. He's given you good punt returns. That's a hard one. I'm a Tyron Johnson guy. I like T. Billy, but right now, DJ Turner is my boy. Right now, just based off of what he's showing. Let's see here. Demarcus, that is hard to choose. It is very hard to choose, my friend. Maybe left Colton, left guard Alex Leatherwood, Andre James, Lester Cott, and Jermaine Illuminor. It's a possibility, but I don't know if he beats out John Simpson. I really don't. John Simpson, I watched his film. He did okay. He's not perfect either, by the way. John Simpson's not perfect either. But is Alex Leatherwood better? I want to see Alex get more guard reps, both right and left guard moving forward. And I'd like to see Jermaine Illuminor get as many reps at the right side as possible. And let's kind of keep Jermaine Illuminor healthy. I think he's shown enough to maybe take a week off. I really do. A lot like these running backs, right? Amir Abdullah got the week off. You got these positions here and there where they've given guys the week off. I think you give Jermaine Illuminor the week off. I think he's earned it. By far, hands down, the best offensive lineman that's been put on film the last 2 weeks. Audrey says Aguilar is a former USC Trojan, and the Raiders love players from USC, and his connection with McDaniels, it makes sense. I love the take. I really do. It does make sense. I appreciate that, Audrey. Continue chiming in. I love that, Audrey. Keep tuning in. Sean, we have been saying that all day. Miller struggled at first. Now he's playing great. Keep Leatherwood. He just needs more time. He adds depth in case we have injuries. But I say start Illuminor and let Alex Leatherwood be that depth guy. I don't think he's ready. Pass protection, and look, we're going to have to be able to pass protect this season with all the weapons that we got. And Jermaine Illuminor is a really good run block. I mean, you guys need to go watch the film for yourselves. Right guard, he did phenomenal. Right tackle, he plays phenomenal. Solid in pass protection, gets his hands, can pull, gets back into the second level, gets his hands on guys. Of the guys that are in space, I think Jermaine Illuminor has had the better tape this preseason. Jermaine has earned it, and there's nothing wrong with that, you guys. Jermaine has taken this offseason to get better, has chemistry and history with Coach Priscillo. Josh McDaniels has played guard and tackle for them in times past. Right now, the Raiders have a need at that position. Put him in there. And look, if he doesn't make it those first 4 weeks and he really struggles, then throw Alex in there and let him compete for the rest of the year. But right now, I just don't think Alex is there. And going up against week 1 against Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, you're going to set us up for disaster. Per Jermaine Illuminor, and you can get through that game okay, I believe. You got to win week 1. That's a huge game, Raider Nation. Chargers, Raiders, week 1, primetime football, 1-0. It's really like a 2-0 type of game. That's the weight of that type of game. You're going to look back later in the season, and that game is going to be huge. So, Raider Nation, week 1, you need to give this offense the best success possible. You need to give Derek Carr time to throw the ball because, look, these guys haven't got preseason reps. And they're going to be in live bullets are going to be flying. You have to let these guys go out there and give them the best chance of success possible. Everyone subscribe and share. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's get ready to his first 1,000 subscribers. GA, I appreciate you so much. That's what we're out here to do, man. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs by September 11th. Hopefully, we've grown subscribers tonight. Hopefully, you guys are having a really good time. You guys chat. Let me know. Are you guys having a good time on the show? Do you guys want me to keep it running? Do you guys want me to continue to address questions? Your guys' response is going to dictate how long we go tonight. So if you guys are having a great time tonight, spending time here with Raider Ray, let me know down in the comments section below. I'd really appreciate it. Ray, even in his last press conference, he sounded down and defeated and humble. Yeah, I agree. Also, Leatherwood hasn't had a penalty in the last 2 games. Look, it's preseason, and I feel like these refs haven't. Okay, fade to black, you got to go watch the film because there's so many plays in the trenches that guys could have called flags that are going to be thrown in the regular season. But these guys are fighting for roster spots, and the NFL isn't just going to be throwing flags every 3 plays. They just can't do it. The preseason already struggles enough when it comes to viewership. Look, there's a lot of plays where they could be throwing flags. Trust me, both on the Raiders' offensive line and both when our defensive line is rushing the passer. There's a lot of things that could be called that aren't being called. So Alex Leatherwood has had penalties. He's got a lot of help from the referees. Let me just remind you that. I think you give Mumford a year, he's going to be our best right tackle on the team. And look, when it came to Brandon Parker and Alex Leatherwood as both tackles, left tackle Brandon Parker, right tackle Alex Leatherwood, or you tell me left tackle Jermaine Illuminor, right tackle Theron Mumford, Illuminor and Theron Mumford have performed better than Parker and Leatherwood. That's a fact. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with that. Let whoever earns it. If they're Mumford, if a late round draft pick goes and earns that spot and outbeats a first round draft pick of Alex Leatherwood, then so be it. I don't care. Thayer looked pretty good. He didn't look perfect, but he had a much better game the second game than what he did the first game. And shout out to Theron Mumford for putting in the work, man. He had a really good game. I'm pretty impressed with him. Now, he still has a lot of things to work on. I don't think he's ready for week 1 by any stretch of the matter. But shout out to him for getting better. Hit those likes and subs. I appreciate that, Jack. Let them know. Boomcat says, Raiders, just checking in. Can you give me a quick recap of the show so far? Also, how do you feel about the cuts that were made today? So we talked about the cuts, Boom. We've talked about a lot. We've talked about the offensive line. We've talked about the quarterback position. We talked about the cuts. We talked about the trade. We talked about Ndamukong Suh. We have talked about a lot, man. We have talked about a lot. Faded Black, you got good points. Leatherwood could be the backup for every position on the line. Yeah, and that's a good depth piece to have. Look, if I would rather Alex be a depth piece at this point and fill in whether John Simpson goes down or Lester Cotton goes down or Illuminor got hurt or whatever the case may be, and you use Alex as that guy to fill in. I just don't think he's ready right now. I'm okay with average, and I do like Jermaine, but again, what do we have if he goes down? And yeah, you're right. You got Thayer Mumford, which is playing on par with Alex Leatherwood. You have Alex Leatherwood, so you have 2 guys that can go in there and swing. So you do technically have 2 swing tackles on the roster if Jermaine were to go down. Now, are they the best? No. Does it feel kind of like the Brandon Parker situation? Yeah. But I mean, you technically do have guys on the roster to limp you through a game to maybe address something if that situation were to happen. It's a good point. Look, you got to get depth, but I don't know if going out and signing Daryl Williams is the thing. Chris says, and let's not get things twisted. I love Nelly, but I think we have bigger needs. And we do. We do. We need Sue. We do need Sue. We need, we need Sue. We do. I think he would really solidify this defensive line room. This team needs a right tackle and a defensive tackle. Chris, we have a stupid amount of cap. We could easily bring in Nelly and still have tons of money to add. Thank you, Van. Thank you for solidifying that. And that's no shot. Look, that's no shot at Chris. I know what Chris is saying. I hear him. I really do. I hear him. And I want to articulate that I understand that. And I understand that defensive tackle, right tackle, probably the biggest concerns on the roster. That doesn't mean you can't go get Nelly. That doesn't mean that you can't go get an Ndamukong Suh. And it doesn't mean you can't go get a veteran tackle to come in here and be a stopgap, emergency break glass type of guy. We have the money to do all of that and to extend Darren Waller. I promise you. Oh, Van City got it. Yep, and have money for an extension. What made Miller, Simpson, James, Leatherwood, Parker work so well the last 4 weeks of last year? in a playoff game. Well, what happened is these guys got a lot of reps together, and for the majority of the part, they were able to stay consistently healthy with each other. Anytime you do that, and Tom Cable's system had a lot of complexities. It had a lot of rules in that system, which look, some guys don't allow certain guys to do specific techniques because there's rules in that type of scheme. And that's what we see with Tom Cable. And I think personally, and this is just my opinion, I think that those rules in that scheme, in that system, really limited the traits that these guys have up front. I think moving to this power gap scheme, simplifying things up front, just letting these guys be big men and reset the line of scrimmage, really simplifying the game and getting back to smash mouth football, Raider football. That's really the way to go. And I think that's what happened is those guys got a lot of reps together, a lot of communication. That's what happened, Sean. Heck yeah, keep it up, bro. All right, we're going to keep it up. I'm hopeful for Leatherwood to succeed, but I don't think he'll ever live up to that 17th pick. There were better options there and took another gamble. Not surprised if he's on the chopping block. We'll see. The Tyree Gillespie one kind of surprised me. Not going to lie. Absolutely 100. Love my brother's takes. I appreciate you, brother. Love your lives, Ray. I'm here instead of Doc's channel. I hope that says a lot. Wow, that does say a lot, Van. I really appreciate that, brother. And I know Doc's. Look, I know he's probably alive right now, but that's okay. We're going to keep this thing. We're going to do it. And look, I support Docs. I really do. But we're going to keep this show going because I like to talk with my family. Fade to Black says, keep grinding, bro. I will. Super stoked you're starting to do more lives. You're another one I'll be buying a membership to as soon as they're available. Man, that says a lot, man. Van, I appreciate you, brother. I really do, man. You've been so loyal to the show, man. And yeah, we'll do that. And we're going to do some fun things. Look, I got another jersey. This ain't the only signed jersey. So when we get to 1K and we do a jersey giveaway, I've got a signed Trayvon Moehrig rookie all-pro jersey, a black and silver jersey. So I'm just dropping that little nugget in there. It's just better for everybody to go and hit the subscribe button. Tito's enjoying himself tonight, enjoying the show. Parker and Leatherwood suck and cannot be counted on at this point. Facts, which is why Illuminor and Mumford are better options moving forward. Put the best 5 on the O-line. Facts OG. Could we imagine if Mayock and Gruen hit those first 5-round draft picks? Exactly. They had a huge opportunity and they completely washed it. Now, look, they really made up. Let's not act like the whole regime was just a complete waste, though, you guys, because they go out and they get a Max Crosby, a Hunter Renfrow. I mean, you go get foundational pieces. They did draft Trayvon Merrick, who I think is going to be good. You got a Malcolm Koontz. You got a Nate Hobbs. So it wasn't a complete disaster. They really whiffed those first-round draft picks, though. They really whiffed on those, but they kind of made up for it with those late-round draft picks. Those contracts that really build and turn an organization into a competitive roster because they're so team-friendly, the deals are. Van, that says a lot from being a member of Dox's channel and from the 916. Also being on Ray's first live with OG. Ray knows his stuff. Support both. I appreciate that. Oh, as soon as Ray logs off, I'll be popping over there. I'm a member of Dox's channel, but Ray's one of my favorite content creators. Man, Van, man, you fire me up today, dude. You're firing me up. Let's see here. Remember the staff was talking up Parker in camp. Once Sunday comes, that's all out the window. I absolutely love that. You're right, bro. 100% absolutely agree. I feel proud of suggesting Ray to Pharaoh and now Ray. Love my boy. I appreciate that, man. Shout out to all you guys, man. Shout out to the ones who stayed here, man. We're going to get ready to wrap this up, man. Just a few players that kind of stand out. I wanted to talk about Luke Masterson real quick before we wrap things up. This guy, look, I'm going to take it. I might take heat for this, but I like him better than Darian Butler at this point. I think he's just flash more. He's putting guys in position. He's kind of coaching up the defense, those late round guys. He's getting his head down into the run game. He's doing really good when it comes to pass coverage. I like this kid. I think he has a real shot to make the roster. I really do, especially as a depth piece. It's going to be him and Darian Butler to compete for that backup spot. But look, I like him. I like Luke Masterson. I like Sam Webb. I thought Sam Webb had a really good game. I think he played better than Amik Robinson. He played man coverage, was sticky in coverage, got his hand on the ball, didn't allow a catch. I really like that out of Sam Webb. Like I said, Andrew Billings. Andrew Billings is a dog. I really like him. I would encourage you guys to go watch his tape as well. It was really special to watch. GA says, remember everybody, this is a McDaniels preseason. We've not seen anything resembling our starting team from personnel, scheme aspect. The surprise is still wrapped up in a box, and I love it, GA Patriot. This whole gift that we've got in this Raiders offense and this Raiders defense under Patrick Graham, it is nestled protected right underneath the tree. All right. And it's ready to be open on September 11th. And there's not going to be no sneak peeks. There's no tearing the paper and lifting up the lid to see what's underneath. None of that. I want to keep this whole thing under wraps. We kind of made a little joke about it. Look, if the Raiders were a movie trailer, it's a black screen and just the autumn wind comes on and the date September 11th, 2022 pops up on the screen. There's no clips. There's no sneak peeks. There's no teasers. There's no preview. It is a black screen with the autumn wind playing and it says September 11th, 2022. That's what I want. I want this thing completely under wraps. I want to go in against the Chargers and them intimidated because make no mistake, they're going to be looking at this Raider teams like, what do they got going on? And I know they're thinking it. They could act how they want. I know the Chargers come week one, they're going to be like, look, the Raiders got something going on over there. Out there, it's a little bit different. What is Devontae going to be doing, man? Hunter Renfro's a bad dude. They got Darren Waller, Josh Jacobs. They got Chandler Jones. Like, bro, the teams in this division are going to be well aware of what the Raiders are doing. Any chance you would do a live game reaction videos? Living in SoCal, we don't get many games televised, but the national televised. Chat show some love if you think that this is a good idea. If that's something that you guys would want to see, I would love. I've got my television set up right here, and we could definitely do that. We could air a game live, and then we could do a recap. I'd probably be talking about some film specific related stuff. But if that's something you guys would want to watch, I would love if we got enough people to tune in and Raider Nation showed up, then I'd love to do it. Fade says, peace, Ray, great show. I appreciate you, brother. Raider Ray says, good seeing you, brother. I want to call you tomorrow. What time are you free? Tomorrow, Wednesday. Shoot me a call in the afternoon. Brother. Who makes your fourth running back on the team? Dude, Walters is a guy. Amir Abdullah is a guy. I don't know how this running back room is going to switch out. I'm just going to be honest. I'm not going to act like I got all the takes. I'm not going to act like I know everything because Josh McDaniels has a lot of decisions to make when it comes to this running back room. I think Britton Brown is either released or a practice squad guy. I want to see Austin Walters make the roster. I want to see Abdullah make the roster. White, Bolden, Jacobs. Is Drake on the trade block? Is he going to be on the roster? Drake had a lot better game week 2, so I think he might be safe for now. I want to keep 6 running backs if I could. I really do. I like all of them. I really do. So Austin Walters just is a dog. He runs tenacious, gets behind his pads, fights for extra yards. The first guy's not bringing him down. He's a small bowling ball. He's aggressive, catches out of the backfield. Solid in pass protection, just a gritty running back. That 32 looks good on him. His style, I absolutely love it between him and Zamir White, Josh Jacobs. You just got these power gap runners. I love this style of football, which makes it hard for me to get rid of these guys. New Raider flag from my cave came in today. It says Raider Nation's football's most notorious fans. That's sick, bro. That's sick. Chronicles of the Black Hole. What's your take on our fullback? He's going to make the roster, and he is a lock. So, look, Raider Nation, man. Really, you guys, we covered pretty much everything that I wanted to cover. I appreciate you guys for staying up. I know Docs is live, and I know you guys want to go watch him, so I'm not going to keep you guys from doing that. I'm going to let you guys go support other Raider content creators. So shout out to Docs. Shout out to the Raider Nation for pulling up, man. I appreciate you guys so much. You guys are family. The love is genuinely felt, man. So for the last time, I'm going to pop this up right here. Smash that like button and subscribe if you're new. This is my Instagram, _Raider Ray, _. You guys mean so much to me. I love coming on here and talking to you guys. You guys make this so fun. And look, we're on the road to 1,000. Week 1's going to be coming before you know it. We're going to have Raid the Tape on later on in this week. I'm so grateful that even 20 of you guys stuck around. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Richard, Van, Tito, Jack, OG, GA. If I forgot any of you guys, man, you guys are absolutely special to me. I appreciate all you guys. Tito says, great show. Van City says, cheers, Ray. Have a good night, brother. See y'all at Dox's channel. Richard says, Ray, be safe. Much love, brother. Much love to you, Richard. I appreciate you so much. And GA says, Ray, check out Doc's live tonight. Paul is his guest, and Paul is an NFL agent. I'll have to go over there and tune in. You guys, God bless each and every single one of you, and I really mean that, man. May the Lord bless each and every single one of you guys. I love all you. And until next time, Raider Nation, just win, baby.